This is episode 178 of Southern Gospel Now. I'm Greg Goodman. Our show is made possible by Daywind.com, where you'll find Southern Gospel music, soundtracks, and Christian products. Congratulations going out to Chris Bryant of the Kingdom Heirs. He and his wife, Rachel, welcomed son Harrison Becket Bryant into the world Tuesday, November 5th. Harrison was born at 10:46 a.m., weighing 8 pounds, 13 ounces, and measuring 20.5 inches long. Mom and baby, as well as Dad, all said to be doing great. Paul Lancaster of The Guardians has something special in the works with his son on The Guardians' new Christmas project, Christmas with the Guardians.
I love it. I just love Christmas, right? But my son is on a duet with me, and people tell me that the DNA sounds so similar on this thing that it's hard to tell which one of us is which. But we're duetting Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and it is something. I'm thrilled, and his mother would be so pleased, with this. She would be thrilled to death. And she didn't get excited about much. Maybe a good sale at Macy's and but her kids, right? And her kids.
It's Paul's youngest son, Jackson, that sings with him on this duet. I know we'll all be enjoying that this Christmas season. Joseph Habedank's fall tour continues through the month of November. His wife, Lindsay, is a part of it. Joseph says Lindsay has been well received by audiences.
I got to be honest, the fall tour with Lindsay was kind of tricky. For those of you who don't know Lindsay's story, she grew up singing with her family in East Tennessee, but about 10 years ago, she stopped singing on stage, and I honestly wasn't sure if she'd ever sing again. And it's not really my story to tell, but I will tell you that the devil had pretty much convinced her that she wasn't good enough and that she couldn't do it and that she shouldn't sing. I asked her to do this tour, and of course she said, please don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. And I said, you know what? A lot of the reason I am where I am today is because I simply learned to say yes. And I used that line on Lindsay. I said, why don't you just say yes? You've been saying no for 10 years. Just say yes. Her first night in Mattoon, Illinois, she brought the crowd to their feet. She sang Thank You, Jesus, for the blood applied. And she has gotten a standing ovation ever since that night, every single night.
Scotty Edman recently had the opportunity to perform on the Grand Ole Opry. He shares how this came about.
I got a phone call from Levi with the Isaacs. He said, what are you doing Wednesday night, October the 30th? And I said, I have no idea. He said, well, if you're free, you're singing Motel Bible on the Opry. And I was like, are you kidding me? Man, the Isaacs have always been huge encouragers and great friends to me. And of course, Levi and Jimmy Lee Erie wrote the song Motel Bible. The fact I got to sing it on the stage there is literally a dream come true.
Hopefully you're enjoying cooler temperatures and the beautiful fall colors. Levi Mills of The Sound talks about another fall tradition for his family.
I was born and raised around the corner from 2 different apple orchards right up in Michigan. And so every fall they make fresh apple cider and cider donuts every day. I mean, both of these places are within walking distance. So when I am home, I love walking to the corner at either one of those orchards and getting some fresh cider and donuts. It's an experience that is just unlike anything else unless you live right next to one of those things.
Doug Pitman of the Down East Boys shares his Southern Gospel resume with us.
I've been singing Southern Gospel music since I really started when I was growing up. My dad played in all the local bands back in the 90s, every Southern Gospel group had a band. That's the way it was, and he drove the bus for them. So they would always get me up on stage to do one song with him or something like that. But I officially came into Southern Gospel music under the tutelage of Ed O'Neill and the Dixie Melody Boys back in 2014, and was able to be with the Down East Boys starting in 2017 and been here ever since.
Tribute Quartet continues to spotlight classic Southern Gospel songs through their Quartet Tribute series. Ian Owens of the group talks about their focus on these classics.
That one was on Quartet Tribute Volume 1. We went back and we added our voices. It's really exciting and cool to me because all 3 of the Quartet Tribute projects now feature the current lineup. So the Quartet Tribute thing is a current thing for us, which will play in really well with this Quartet Tribute tour that we're going to be doing in 2025. But for me, that single, Let's Go to That Land, it is such an honor, first of all, because Rex Nealon, one of my favorite bass singers, I mean, he's so melodic, such a good singer, had such great rhythm, and could just carry a melody like that. He was a singer first. Grew up listening to him, and it's an honor for me to be able to sing that song.
Southbound's latest song is I Left It in the Water. Clint Brown co-wrote the song and shares a thought on letting the past go.
I heard a saying the other day. It said, you can either let it grow or let it go. And our brand new single with Southbound, we sing a song that talks just about that right there. You know, when you're baptized, you can either leave it there or you can come up out of that water and take it with you. I believe it's powerful when someone comes out of that water and can look you in the eye and say, I left it in the water.
Doug Anderson's current solo song is Until It Was Me. Doug says the song is very personal for him. He shares one of the situations that led him to write it.
I lost my mom to a disease called Alzheimer's disease, which was about a 4.5-year battle. To be honest, it shut me down. I'm a fixer. That's just what I do. If anything's wrong with anybody in our family, our friends or anything, they come to me and I'll fix it. I'll make sure it's right and everybody's taken care of. And with this whole situation, for the very first time in my life, I couldn't fix it. And to be honest, it put me in a place and it took me a spot that wasn't me. And people would come up to me and say, Doug, are you all right? Is everything okay, man? Are you doing okay? And as an entertainer, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing great. Everything's perfect. But inside, I was dying.
Time for a look at the top Southern Gospel Songs of the Week from the Power 50 chart.
Number 5.
He Is Good to Me, The Taylors.
He is good to me.
Number 4.
Until Prayer Changes Me, Kingdom Heirs.
I pray until prayer changes me.
Number 3.
There's a Hole in the Heart, The Nelons.
There's a hole in the heart of America that only God can heal.
Number 2.
Be Ready, Peck New River.
No matter what you say, no matter what you do, be ready, be ready.
Number 1.
Red Words, The Erwins.
It's all black and white in the red words.
Southern Gospel Now is made possible in part by SouthernGospelPrizes.com. You can register for several current prize packs, including a cruise for 2 at SouthernGospelPrizes.com. You can check out all of our 178 episodes of Southern Gospel Now wherever you find podcasts or at SouthernGospelNow.com. I'm Greg Goodman. Love your neighbor, and I'll catch up with you next week with more Southern Gospel news on Southern Gospel Now.